following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race.
Room to wonder, open road, my marker, cruise control, strobing headlights, passing cars, constellations, shooting stars, pedal to the metal and I'm feeling alright. Fire on the highway, music on the airwaves, head out the window, gonna feel the cool night. I'ma keep driving for the rest of my life.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 7 in season number 7 of the NRLOA Chick-fil-A Cup Series, the Interstate Batteries 500 from Texas. After a 2-week break here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, we're back to racing, but probably not at the racetrack you were expecting. Let's just say, and I think the three of us can all agree, that the 2017 version of Texas is just not cut out for pit stops. This is the original version of Texas, and those fine people who made this game knew what they were doing when they made it, so we should not have any issues here. And as I said, we have 3 people. Well, me, Carter Friesen, and Joe Rutkowski in the booth for this race, and a lot of you guys probably subscribe to both of their channels and watch their videos, so pretty big names in the booth for this one, and could be a big name in victory lane, but now everything's changed. We're back to the original place. This is where the veterans know what they're doing. So, will it be a veteran or will it be a rookie in this one?
Well, it all depends on how it plays out. Pit stops could be a big factor in this, and also how aggressive you're going to be on track. At this track, I believe both the inside and outside work. Outside, not so much. The inside is definitely where you're going to want to be today.
I think we'll see the veterans prevail today. It's a worn-out track surface. You need to know how to handle some of these cars, and I feel like we'll see the veterans up front contending for the win at the end.
We're just going to have to see. Got a lot of veterans starting up front, but a rookie on the pole in Roger Ray, and a lot of rookies up there in the point standings. John Stewart, a rookie driver, got the win at Las Vegas a few weeks ago. 195 points for him. Diego Yepes is only 7 points behind. Brad Stover is 14 points behind. And the highest veteran in the point standings coming into this race is Tristan Allen, 20 points behind coming into this event. And our pole setter Roger Ray, 22 points behind, 5th place in the points, coming into the 7th race of the season after the Easter break. And these guys, I think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive than we have seen throughout the season so far, as they've had this break, and they're ready to get back in the race cars and race hard for a win. So these guys, they actually qualified on the new version of Texas yesterday, but now we're switching to this one, so would like to apologize for that, but let me tell you, I would have to apologize a lot more if we actually kept with the initial race that we were doing. So this is going to be a good one. One of the best races of the season is the original Texas, and I'm glad that we're actually coming back here because this is going to be a great race, no question. And we can't get it started without firing the engines up, so let's head trackside for the command in the Interstate Batteries 500 here at Texas.
Drivers, start your engines!
And a great command there to fire these guys up. Let's get them to roll off. Roger Ray, rookie driver for Zidell Motorsports, with the fastest time in qualifying yesterday. And like I said, we qualified on the new version of the Texas Motor Speedway. But like we have stated many times, pit stops were very difficult to just occur at the new Texas Motor Speedway. So we're back to the original place. So we'll see what the rookie can do around this worn-out racetrack. He's alongside NRLOA Motorsports driver and defending Rookie of the Year, Daniel McMillan. William Brock, Cody Sill, row number 2. Riverside winner, Justin Roberts, alongside Tristan Allen, still going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win. Brad Stover and Justin Heath still going for his first Napa fan win. Brad Stover, he's third in the points coming into this race. And it's Patrick Smith and Jordan Carter in row number 5. So, we were talking earlier, when we were trying to record the race on the new Texas, that the flatter turns 1 and 2 would give way to the outside lane. But here, the inside lane is more the place to be, but the outside lane can still work. So which line is going to be the preferred line in today's 67-lap race?
Well, he's got to be aggressive and pretty much see what happens. And at the end of the race, someone here will come home the winner.
Just gotta stay inside, I think. That's gonna be the key.
We're just going to have to see the Great American Speedway. Interstate Batteries 500, green from Texas. Lap 1 will be led by the number 48 of Roger Ray, and there goes William Brock trying to get to the inside, can't do it. And one thing I will say, the old Texas is faster than the new Texas, and McMillan, he fell back on the outside, could not get that outside lane to work. And when we were recording with the old Texas, and we saw yesterday in the Turkey Hill Series race when we raced the new version, that the outside lane was a pretty good place to be. But if you're 3 wide on the outside, you're going nowhere, and McMillan falling way back into 75. Oh, and into the wall goes the 32 of Diego Yepez. And Daniel McMillan with heavy damage with Alexander Rowe as we completely messed up the lighting of this place. I tell you, what kind of a day has it been, guys? You guys know firsthand. But, hey, a tough break for those guys. William Brock will win the race back. And we were focusing right there on Daniel McMillan. He ended up getting 3 wide with Alexander Rowe and Diego Yepez. Now, Yepez comes into this race only 7 points behind. It's not at all what he wants. But unfortunately, he might be taken out because of this one.
I think he can continue. I don't think that's too bad a damage. I mean, the front end is torn up a bit, but I think they might be able to repair that. But you never know.
Daniel McMillan started on the outside pole, high hopes in this race, and he's all torn up. Alexander Rowe with damage as well in the 68, just an innocent victim once again, and here we go. Something that will actually work this time, and I know it. Pit stops on lap 4 of 67. Everybody, with the exception of the guys involved on the lead lap, somebody staying out. Blaine Keys. A little bit of a strategy there on the 64 team. Really haven't talked about Blaine Keys too much this season, but he's looking to possibly get something done. And William Brock leading the field down the pit lane. We'll see how these pit stops go.
Yeah, we'll see if the 88 can hold service on pit roads. See if they can get out in front, or that 48 with the number 1 pit stall. See if Roger Ray's team can get it done.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is Blaine Key's final season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series,
that
correct?
Would probably be here, Jallarvin Alonso you're thinking about, driving the number 40.
Right. Yes.
So Blaine Keys, just trying something new for the Wade Enterprises team. His teammate leads in the points. He'd like to get a win this season. He's the only guy who stayed out. Justin Roberts won the race off the pit lane with Brad Stover, Justin Heath, Patrick Smith. And like we were talking about here, Jallarvin Alonso, this is his last season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's going to restart 6th. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the caution with Alexander Rowe, Daniel McMillan, and Diego Yepez. Daniel McMillan got shuffled out of line 3 wide and tried to clear Diego Yepez and just couldn't do so into Alexander Rowe, and Yepez gets heavy damage on the outside wall. And, yeah, I mean, it's April Fool's Day, we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a joke there. Jonathan Wong, in this 39, also got into the outside wall as Rowe came down and clipped him. And just a tough break for McMillan especially. He got shuffled out of line, fell back, was trying to get on that inside, but just couldn't do so as he took out McMillan and Alexander Rowe.
Make sure you hit 75. Little Anthony trying to get down line, comes down from the 32 up into the wall, and then 68 trying to save the car, comes down, gets the 39. It's just on from there. Big crash and pretty hard hits, and your results of some slower cars and even some cars out.
It's a Tough break for all these guys, but fortunately it was only 4 drivers involved, and fortunately we still have everybody on the lead lap. And I will say, what was going on with the new version is these guys would try to come down the pit lane, the caution would come out right when the green flag pit stops were occurring, and we'd be left with half the field a lap down. It was a mess. Fortunately, this one shouldn't be too much of a mess, and hopefully we can get some green flag racing in here at Texas with William Brock leading the field in the 38, coming down the pit lane, but it's actually Blaine Keys who stayed out in the 64, who's going to lead the field with the green flag. So let's see what Blaine Keys does when we restart here at Texas. We are back here at the Texas Motor Speedway, and it's Blaine Keys who will lead the field with the green flag. You got Justin Roberts, first driver off the pit lane. Brad Stover, pole sitter Roger Ray, and Justin Heath going for his first career Napa fan win. He might have a good chance of doing so in the number 30. Take a look and see who got knocked out in this one, and looks like everybody's actually still out there, so bit of a surprise. Everybody's still on the lead lap here at Texas. How do you think that's going to affect the rest of this race?
I really don't know, because like I said before, anything can happen here, and even some big wrecks, because, you know, everything's bigger in Texas.
It definitely is. Blaine Keys, Justin Roberts, Brad Stover are back to racing here in the Interstate Batteries 500.
Wow, that 64 launched there in the restart. You'd think staying out would be a problem, but launched there, got away.
Of course, these guys, they just started the race, so the tires are pretty fresh on Blaine Keys, but I think in a couple of laps he'll be sworn by the rest of these guys. And Justin Roberts is going for his second win of the season. His teammate, Nathan Stapleton, won 2 weeks ago at Martinsville. And he's trying to hold off Roger Ray here in the 48, getting that outside lane to work off the corner. And if you're in the middle through the corner, that's when you can get it to work. But if you're 3 wide on the outside, that's when you fall back. And we saw that happen with Daniel McMillan. And that resulted in an accident, but these guys working that middle lane, trying to get it to work up there. But that inside gets a good push off of turn 2.
And it really does, because that inside, definitely the preferred line here. You can get a really good run off the corner. But whereas if you're on that outside, you have a risk of hitting the wall coming off the corner.
Blaine Keys still out front. And it's Justin Roberts, Brad Stover, rookie Patrick Smith. He is 4th right now, and Roger Ray rounds out the top 5. Justin Heath, Cody Sill. How about John Stewart, our points leader in the top 10 right now? And Diego Yepes was involved in that crash. A great opportunity for Stewart to bump his way up in the points a little bit more. Isaac Nichols and Jordan Carter round out the top 10. And here's Colton Yo. Now, he qualified his way in at the new version of Texas, but he's never been to the old version of Texas, and he raced at the new version of Texas yesterday in the Turkey Hill Series. So this is basically a completely new racetrack to him. But Colton Yo doing a decent job in the American Motorsports Uncharted Ride. The second week in a row that this team has gotten their Uncharted Ride in the show. Key still holds the lead, but he's yet to make a pit stop in this race while everybody else has. Brad Stover to the inside of Justin Roberts for second. And here comes Patrick Smith looking to draft on this second place battle.
And a little bit further back, the cars that maybe took just 2 tires on the stop trying to fight their way up, as others took fuel only on the stop. So the drivers with 2 tires trying to fight their way up forward, trying to get as much track position as they can.
Patrick Smith for 3rd on Justin Roberts as Brad Stover has gotten around the 83. Roger Ray's right behind here now. With these guys going side by side like they are, it's allowing Stover and Keys to pull away. Kind of surprised with what Blaine Keys has been able to do staying out here. Now, the only thing with him is he's going to be a little off sequence with everybody else, so this has a long green flag run to it. That may affect him, but we'll just have to see. Blaine Keys holding strong in the 64 for Wade Enterprises, and like I said, we really haven't talked about him too much this season. His teammate John Stewart got the win at Las Vegas, and we'll see if the veteran can get it done here today. Got wins at Atlanta and Nashville last season, and he's looking to get, I believe, his 3rd career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win here today at the Texas Motor Speedway. Brad Stover closing in, however, in the number 99, and we might be seeing a battle for the lead here very shortly.
This is not what Blaine Keys would like. He would like to be able to keep the lead here until he does have to come in for his pit stop, as it looked like he was going to maybe do it there. Slowed it down a little bit in the corner, but not pitting this time.
Yeah, that 99, he's getting some huge runs here. He got a big run through 1 and 2 just a few laps ago. Looks like the place he's best at on this racetrack. So got another great run there off of 2. He's looking down low, down the back stretch. I think he might have a nose down there.
To the inside for the lead, Brad Stover on Blaine Keys. And Brad Stover going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win. He's got a new paint scheme. It's a pretty fast one. The Williams might not be too fast in Formula 1, but they can be fast here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, am I right? That's Titan Fury Motorsports, number 99 of Brad Stover, the rookie driver, trying to take the points. He's only 14 behind John Stewart. Now, right now, you would not take it over the 04, but it's very possible we can see Brad Stover in the points lead once again after this one, if in fact he can get the victory. Patrick Smith for second on Blaine Keys, Roger Ray on Justin Heath. Got Justin Roberts back in here in the 83, and Cody Sill trying to hang on. Jordan Carter is 8th. Andrew Miller, he is right now running in the 9th position, and John Stewart rounds out the top 10 here. A couple of guys we haven't talked about yet this season, or this race I should say. Aaron Walpole in the 34, great to see him running up front. He has crashed in the past 3 races this season. He would definitely want to finish a race, no matter where it is. And he's currently just outside the top 10. And defending champion Elijah Gordon, first race for the Liftmaster scheme, which was the sponsor on his race car all last season when he won the championship. He's right now 13th in the number 5. Back to the point, and Brad Stover is out of here in the number 99. As they go side by side for second, our pole sitter Roger Ray to the inside of Patrick Smith for the second position. He will take it off at turn 4.
And I believe Roger Ray has won here at Texas in the past, maybe not in the NRLOA, but I believe he is a Texas winner.
64 just came up pit road, maybe? No, he's still out there. Never mind. They just got really separated. Someone may have come down pit road.
Yeah, we'll have to check and see. And I don't see anybody, so
some issue there through 1 and 2.
They can get some really interesting runs here. Now, Blanky is going to come down this time. As you can see, he definitely slowed it down entering turn number 3. So this is going to start the first cycle of green flag pit stops, and if you're not in the top 15 at this point, you might not have a chance of winning this race, because once that green flag set of pit stops gets completed and we stay green, it's only a few guys who have a chance. And you see Brad Stover leading right now in the 99 with an almost second lead on Roger Ray. That's good news for the 99 if he wants to possibly win this race. Now, these guys can stay out a little bit longer than Blaine Keys, but they might not want to do so for too much longer, because Blaine Keys will have those fresher tires for just a little bit longer than the rest of these guys and gain some advantages on our leaders. He could be the leader once this whole thing cycles through.
That 99 is checked out. He just put the 10th on the 48 that last time by, and Roger Ray's trying to fend off the A3 right there of Roberts, and it's really costing him some time and keep falling back. Justin
Roberts has won at a mile-and-a-half racetrack before. Race 2 in Season 1 at Atlanta. Of course, this place is a little similar to Atlanta. Not quite, by the way we race. We don't really pack race here like we do at Atlanta. But Justin Roberts knows how to get it done at the mile-and-a-half racetracks, and we'll see what he can do here once these green flag pit stops fully take place. Now, Blaine Keys is done for his first pit stop of this one. So he's back out there looking to clock in some pretty fast lap times in that 64. We'll check in there on the 54 of Nathan Stapleton. I believe he's just on the tail end. No, he's a lap down, so Stapleton might have come down the pit lane. Our last winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Same with William Brock in the 88. So kind of interesting strategy by those guys. I do not believe they had any damage from anything, but they have come down. John Stewart has come down. A little bit of a strategy play for our points leader. And here we go. Patrick Smith, Cody Sill, Justin Heath, Jordan Carter, Andrew Miller, Colton Yo, Trey Bartow, the Season 4 winner here. And the green flag pit stops are beginning. And hey guys, they're not crashing while they're entering, so that's a good thing. And here come our leaders. Brad Stover coming down with Roger Ray, Justin Roberts, Tristan Allen, and Elijah Gordon. And Elijah Gordon closed in there on the 99. I think Brad Stover might have tried to come down the last lap, but couldn't make it. He lost a lot of ground to the number 5 of Elijah Gordon. Either that or Elijah Gordon just had a really fast lap, but we'll see what Brad Stover can do coming off the pit lane here to see how this all cycles through.
Well, it looks like the 5 came in there really quickly. Elijah Gordon.
Matt Delio.
79.
He is done. Blown engine on the 79 of Matt Delio. It's been a tough season for the NRLOA Motorsports driver. We had Daniel McMillan get involved in an accident earlier, and now their other driver, one of their other drivers, His day's going to be done. Tough break for the Season 4 champion.
And
Here
that was not helping
comes-
Ace Garcia or Jay Jefferson right there. As
I think Patrick
Dalio tried-
Smith was the first guy off of the rest of the field. But right now, the leader is going to be Blaine Keys. He has checked out from the rest of the field here. And coming in just a couple laps earlier than everybody else is what got him to this point. And look at the lead Blaine Keys is going to have here.
And you think back to when everyone came under that caution flag, the off-sequence pit strategy of that 64 team. It's going to play big out here, but can they make it to the end with those other drivers? It'll be interesting to see if they can make it on the same strategy.
Nathan Stapleton also took that same strategy. He's now 4, trying to go for 2 wins in a row. Cody Sill in the 37. How about Richard Kinghart, the Atlanta winner? He's 6th. John Stewart, he also came in a little bit early as well. He's in the top 10. Elijah Gord's in the top 10, and Roger Ray ended up falling back in the 48. So it's all over the place for second. But it's a 4-second lead for Blaine Keys. And like you said, Joe, he stayed out under that first caution, and so far the only caution we have had so far in this race. And he came down about 3 laps before the rest of the drivers on the racetrack, and those fresh tires is what gave him this 4-second lead. And not only that, when he stayed out, he was able to stay in the top 5 when he was coming down the pit lane. So, combination of him being able, I should say, to stay out, get a good run on the worn tires, and then coming down early is what has given Blaine Keys this position in the number 64. Patrick Smith, North State Racing driver, is in the 2nd position ahead of Brad Stover. Cody Sill is 4th, and Richard Kinghart runs in the top 5.
Yeah, it's interesting. The 64 is actually keeping the gap pretty consistent. It was about 3.96 last time by. It's about 3.96 again. So once he gets out front, he has a fast car, and they're bound for 2nd. That's definitely going to help him out. But they closed in a lot that time.
They did. As long as these guys don't battle for 2nd place too much, I think Blaine Keys is probably going to lose his lead here soon, because Patrick Smith and Brad Stover, they can get a draft on each other. They can definitely close right in on that 64, but I don't know if Brad Stover is content to running behind the 66. He definitely appears to want to get around this 66, but they close in a half a second that last time. So I think Blaine Keys' lead is going to fall off here soon, and now these guys are at the advantage. They have the much fresher tires. They're going much faster around this racetrack than our leader is, so that's why we're seeing these guys from 2nd place closing right in on our leader, Blaine Keys.
That's exactly what I was going to say about these drivers having the fresher tires. So Blaine Keys might be in a very bad position right here.
That time it closed in 0.4 of a second, so it is closing in fast, and Brad Stover might just be the guy to beat in this one. This race is a really good green flag run to it. Really good green flag look to it, I should say, and with that, it might be a race to the finish on the pit stops, because if Blaine Keys can have his final pit stop, I say about 10 laps to go, I think he'll get the win. But if it's going to be about 20 laps to go, there's a good chance it's going to be Brad Stover or Patrick Smith in victory lane. I mean, if it's 20 laps to go, he's going to have to come down again, too. So him being off strategy is going to really mess with his finish in this race. And we're just going to have to see how it all plays out for him. And he's going to have to come down here soon as well. Probably about, say, 2/3 of the way through this run. So we'll just have to see what Brad Stover can do. Patrick Smith is 3rd. Richard Kinghart is 4th. And John Stewart, our points leader, right now running in the 5th position. Here comes Cody Sill, though, taking that position away from him.
And you gotta know if you're Keys and you hear that the 99's running 2nd, you're like, oh gosh, no, that 99 Stover, he's been the fastest car all day. And he's gaining in, he has the fresher tires, and you're out front, you're a sitting duck out there. And Stover's coming fast. He's cut it down to under 2 seconds now. It was about 4 seconds a few laps ago.
The good thing for Blaine Keys, however, is he has a lap car in between him and 2nd place. That is William Brock in the 88. But if William Brock tries to pass the 64, and I think he will because Brock has much fresher tires than the 64. There he goes to the inside. That is not good for our leader. And here comes Brad Stover for Titan Fury Motorsports. It's a good possibility that this lead will be under a second this lap. There's Blaine Keys. There's Brad Stover. And that time by only 1.39, so it only closed in about 0.4 again, but it has been closing in about that much of a gap each lap since Blaine Keys has taken the lead. So it's closing in fast, but just how long can Blaine Keys stay out here?
Well, this is halfway now, so who knows? Yeah, as you said, he'll probably come in with about maybe 10, 15 laps to go, is probably when his next pit stop will be. Well, even maybe before that, which would probably give the win to Brad Stover.
Still a long way left in this one. And still 2 more pit stops left to go on this one as well for every driver in the field. So, I mean, everybody's on the same number of pit stops. Not like Blaine Keys is at a disadvantage because of that. But right now he's at a disadvantage. He's still leading this race. But Brad Stover trying to close in. He gained a lot that last lap. And we'll see if Brad Stover can take the lead before Blaine Keys comes back down the pit lane. They have spread out like crazy up here. And you see, the top 10, they're separated by 6 seconds. That's what happens when you get a long green flag run here at Texas. Those pit stops, they spread the field out like crazy. And as you can see, only 10 drivers on the lead lap so far. Or I should say 10 drivers within a second of each other. Got a lot more than 10 drivers on the lead lap. Still got 39 drivers on the lead lap, including Daniel McMillan, who was involved in that accident. So even though they are spread out, still have most of the field on the lead lap. And here we go. Blaine Keys is going to come down this time. So pretty much he was able to stay out front that whole time during his green flag run right there. So he'll come down theoretically as the leader. Brad Stover was right behind him, but I'd say that was a very successful job by Blaine Keys. He stayed out the whole time in between his pit stops, and looks like he might be the guy to beat in this one. We're just going to have to see. You never know when a caution could come out. This is kind of a variable racetrack when it comes to cautions. A crash can happen when you don't expect it, and it's possible we can end up with a situation like that in this race, but it has a green flag look to it, so we're just going to have to see how it all shakes out.
I would say Keys pitted at about the perfect time right there. That was 30 laps to go. You can kind of cut it in half, and I think he'll be good. I really think this race could be his. As long as no cautions come out, nothing happens. This could be Keys' race to lose.
And like I said, if he were to have his last pit stop at about 10 laps to go, I think he'd get the win if this thing were to stay green. And by my calculation, it's going to be about 12 laps to go, so that's good enough for the 64 to stay out and possibly get this win. But it's going to come down to what Brad Stover and the rest of our leaders do. I mean, you also got Patrick Smith and Richard Kinghart here looking to get a win, and Cody Sill also in the top 5. How about our defending champion, Elijah Gordon? Liftmaster's kind of lucky, I guess. 5th place run for him right now for Elijah Gordon Incorporated. And it looks like... No, I think they were just... No, they are coming down. So Patrick Smith, Richard Kinghart. They're going to lead the next set of green flag pit stops down the pit lane. Somebody else coming down. That is Jordan Carter deep in the field. And Isaac Nichols back in there as well. So the more that Brad Stover stays out, the more he's going to lose on the racetrack. But it could be a method to his madness. As you can see, he almost got around Blaine Keys there, but will it be enough time for him to maybe get this win?
I don't know. No, here comes the pit road. So he was staying out a little bit longer, but you see the rest of the drivers also coming to pit road this time.
Cody Sill, Elijah Gordon, Roger Ray, and everybody else following suit down the pit lane. Oh, and there we go. The lighting's all messed up, but there's our caution. And Blaine Keys in the 64 with heavy damage was involved. Oh, my.
And now who's going to be the leader now?
Aaron Walpole in the 34 will effectively be the leader of the race.
But he still has to pit.
I saw Jesse Turner with major damage in the 77, but most importantly, Blaine Keys was involved in this crash, and if that accident did not happen, I think Keys would have won this race. Colton Yo this weekend. It was Ashland Boyd 2 weeks ago when he started on the pole. It's Colton Yo, the uncharted driver for American Motorsports. He has heavy damage. Justin Knight for Zach Ryan International. He's all torn up. And my goodness gracious, I think Ace Garcia also stayed out there. He's taking his pit stop now along with Aaron Walpole. And we're going to get new guys up front leading this race now. And it might just be Walpole who has actually won here at Texas before. He won the second Texas race of Season 3 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. As a matter of fact, that was the last time he won in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So Walpole looking to get a win at a place where he has won before. You're also probably going to have Stapleton. Nah, I think Stapleton's a lap down. It's a tough break for him, but Walpole, I think, is going to shuffle up to the front pretty well here. He's going to have a few guys ahead of him, but he's going to probably have a chance of winning, especially considering that all these guys are going to bunch back up and battle for the win. It is Brad Stover, the leader, in the number 99. But got a lot to review here. Blaine Keys, who had a dominant car, stayed out under the first caution of the race, was on a perfect strategy, getting knocked out in this accident here late in the race in the Interstate Batteries 500 at Texas. Hair Joe Arvin Alonso in the number 40. He's coming down the pit lane here, but so is uncharted driver Colton Yo in the 36. Yo gets into him, and they shoot up the racetrack. That is Micah Knapp, the other uncharted driver in this race, hard into the outside wall. 3 out of 4. Actually, you know what? All 4 NRLOA Motorsports drivers got involved in something today. Matt Dahlia blew an engine. McMillan was involved in the first crash, and you're going to see Jesse Turner come into this one as well. But more importantly, Blaine Keys, Julio Caesar, nowhere to go. That's a hard hit for the 95. And you're going to see Ace Garcia avoid this one. That is great for the 92. Not so great for Jesse Turner. Almost got the win at Martinsville 2 weeks ago. Justin Knight, Jay Jefferson, but most importantly, Blaine Keys in the 64.
Yeah, Keys was committed to that apron, and I just couldn't get it slowed down time, couldn't get it to the right time. It ran right into the 36 to go, and that's a tough break there. I think he was on the winning strategy. I think he would have had it.
What this caution effectively does is gives us a very interesting and exciting scenario. So it's going to be fun to watch to see who gets the win. Let's replay this in real time, and we'll get to the restart here at Texas.
See the 40 down on the apron. Yeah, 36. It looked like they were both coming to pit road, but it also looked like the 36 was just chasing the 40 down, as you see Julio Caesar piling in there. Yeah, nowhere for any of these drivers to go. Jay Jefferson will have minimal damage, and John Stewart just getting through there. Nice job by the 04.
Our points leader here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as well. So John Stewart avoiding calamity there. But a lot of guys, I think, are going to be caught on the tail end of the lead lap. Brad Stover is still the leader, so one of the dominant guys of the race is still going to have a chance at this one. But he's got new guys behind him. Cody Sill, Elijah Gordon, they're second and third now. Let's go ahead and see what happens on the restart here in the Interstate Batteries 500 at Texas. We are back here at Texas, and let's see, how many laps do we have left? Ooh, over 20 laps, I should say. So there is still another pit stop left to go in this one, and that is going to make things ultra interesting. Brad Stover is the leader. He's got all these cars in the tail end of the lead lap in front of him, but he's got Cody Sill, Elijah Gordon right behind him. Pole sitter Roger Ray is fourth. How about the Daytona 500 champion of Zachary Fitzwater running 5th? Tristan Allen in the top 10. Patrick Smith, Aaron Walpole, Justin Heath. And the Season 4 winner of Trey Bartow. And how about this row right here? You got Trey Bartow, Garrett Sonor, Cameron Garlington, John Arndt, and Nicholas Samadillo. Boy, it doesn't get much better than that when it comes to veteran drivers in this series. A lot, and I mean a lot, of championships and race wins between those guys. Not even funny, but this isn't a joke here. Even though we're doing this on April Fool's Day, it's not a joke for Brad Stover. A win in hand is very possible for the 99, but he's got to hold off the rest of these guys. Elijah Gordon trying to get to that inside, but how about Stover cutting to the inside of Diego Yepez to stay out front in the 99?
Now, he did a nice job right there.
He did a great job.
Did. Clearing Alexander Rowe, who's a lap down right now, and holding up the rest of these guys. Remember, Alexander Rowe was involved in that first crash that we had early on in the race, so he's holding up Elijah Gordon, who's going to take second. Roger Ray should get to the inside of him as well. Here come the Beast Racing drivers. That is Zachary Fitzwater and Tristan Allen there on the inside lane. You see all these guys piled behind Diego Yepez now in the 32. That's Cody Sill, who restarted second. He's still yet to get around him. back to the lead. It is still Brad Stover pulling away from second place. That is now Roger Ray in the 38. Remember, we still have another set of pit stops left to go in this race. Now, all these guys here, these 5 guys, are on the tail end of the lead lap, and that includes points leader John Stewart. He's right now 25th. We got a few guys a lap down. A lot of guys were knocked out in that crash, of course. But not exactly what John Stewart wanted in this one. The points leader might lose the points lead if he's not careful, especially the guy who's leading this race. Brad Stover could easily take it away from John Stewart at the end of the day.
To me, to beat that 99, you're going to have to do some different strategy. I really just don't see you running him down. He's been the fastest all day. I think second on back, they're going to have to do some different strategy here to try and get that 99, maybe pit earlier and try to get those pressure tires.
Roger Ray is up to second. They're trying to get around Jonathan Wong. I think the big problem is, and this is why Brad Stover pulled away, it's because all these guys for second got stuck behind the slow cars, and now they're just getting around them. And you see Brad Stover, he's putting Stuart Gretton and Isaac Nichols a lap down. I mean, this is the perfect scenario for our leader, but we still got ourselves 18 laps to go. A lot can happen between now and the end of this thing. And this race is far from over. We all thought Blaine Keys had this race in the bag. He ended up crashing out. The same thing could happen to Brad Stover. You never know. And you never know, too, if Roger Ray and Zachary Fitzwater can close in as well. How about 5th place? Cameron Garlington in the number 13. Haven't really talked about him all season. How about this fantastic run by the Titan Fury Motorsports driver? He's actually the teammate to Brad Stover. So how about Titan Fury? Doing a pretty good job today with their rookie driver and their veteran driver in today's race.
Yeah, they've both been doing really good in today's race. Of course, Cameron Garlington hasn't really been up towards the front in this race lately until that last caution came out and he got up to the front because of pit stops.
Yeah, so working out pretty well for some of these veteran drivers in the top 10. Now, Brad Stover does not want Richard Kingart to get to the inside of him. That could spell trouble if that in fact happens. And the thing is, these guys on the tail end, they're just as fast as the 99 as well. So he's got to race hard around these lap down cars. And you got Roger Ray and Zachary Fitzwater trying to come. And don't count out these guys. Patrick Smith, Cameron Garlington, Tristan Allen going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win. We mentioned that earlier on. He's got a chance at doing so. Aaron Walpole, Justin Roberts, John Arndt, Garrett Sinor in the top 10. There are a lot of experienced guys lurking behind this rookie driver, but you got to hand it to Brad Stover, showing his stuff here today, showing that he is meant to be a Cup Series champion.
That 47 getting to the inside, that could hold Stover up right here. It could help the 48 get in there. There's 3 lap cars that could possibly get by the 99 here.
That could open the door for Stuart Gratton and Isaac Nichols. Here comes Roger Ray. He started on the pole for this race, but he's been kind of quiet all day. But he is now knocking on the door for the race lead. And we're only at 13 laps to go. Still a little ways before the finish, but it is closing in fast. And speaking of closing in, Roger Ray closed in like crazy on the 99 of Brad Stover. And so is Zachary Fitzwater in the 9, the Season 5 winner here at Texas, looking to get his second Texas win.
And this is not what the 99 of Brad Stover wants to see. This 48 and the 9 catching up. And as you mentioned, Zachary Fitzwater, a winner already here at Texas, not only in the NRLOA, but also in the NRLL Season 1, the second Texas winner.
He's to the inside of Roger Ray for second. And he is right behind the 99 of Brad Stover. Zachary Fitzwater, with a win here today, would become the all-time winningest driver in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series with 8 wins. But he lost a little bit of ground there to Brad Stover, trying to close back in. He's side by side with Atlanta winner Richard Kingart, and not really getting anywhere. These guys still have to make another pit stop. It's all going to come down to who gets in first, I do believe. And nobody's coming down yet. So we're just going to have to see how it all shakes out. It's going to be interesting to see who gets it done. But the 99 pulling away. But there are still 10 laps to go here in the Interstate Batteries 500 at Texas.
I would surely think someone about 5th on back would try and come down sooner rather than later. They would have to come down maybe now, get those fresher tires. I don't think they'd be able to run them down in time, unless, of course,
if I'm Garrett
hit them
Sonor, if I'm
fast.
Cameron Garlington, if I'm John Arndt, do it now. Come down right now. Get those tires, get out ahead before everybody else. It's not a matter of you being able to make it on fuel. Everybody's going to have to make another stop in this race no matter what, so you don't have to worry about getting caught off sequence. I don't think we're going to have another caution in this race, so go ahead and do it, just like you said, but they're not doing so. They're trying to hunt down the 99, and it's just going to come down to how well these pit stops are executed. Here comes the guys on the tail end of the lead lap. Brad Stover's going to stay out. Here we go. Roger Ray's down. That's one lap for him. Justin Roberts as well. Cameron Garlington and the rest of those guys behind him, so here we go. The last set of green flag pit stops underway here at Texas. Zachary Fitzwater trying to get up to the 99 and maybe pass them before these pit stops begin for their leaders.
Like that move out of the 48.
It was a good move by our pole sitter, Roger Ray. Brad Stover should come down this time. And he will. Aaron Walpole is going to stay out. Remember, Walpole actually came down under the caution. And because of that, he can stay out a little bit longer than everybody else. But Walpole, now the leader here at Texas. And there's Roger Ray in the 48. He got out ahead of everybody else. Ace Garcia as well came down under the caution too, so he's going to be able to stay out a little bit longer. We'll see if Walpole and Garcia come down this time.
And it looks like Walpole might be coming this time. He is, and
so that's going to do it for those guys. And Roger Ray effectively got out ahead of everybody else who came down with them. We're going to focus with the race off of these guys. And there's Brad Stover. Zachary Fitzwater's right here, though. Ace Garcia is still out there. Is he on the lead lap? He is. He's now the leader. But I think he still has to make another stop in this one. He got out way ahead of Brad Stover. But he's staying out, so Ace Garcia still out there. I think he's actually on the tail end of the lead lap here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. No. He is the leader. Ace Garcia out front here at Texas, I think. It's all over the place, but he is right now shown the leader. I know Aaron Walpole came down, but that was that last lap. Ace Garcia has still yet to come down, but here he comes. So that's it for him. And now the race lead goes back to Brad Stover, but here comes Zachary Fitzwater in the number 9. A guy who has never won before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. A guy looking for his 8th win in the series. Who's it going to be here at Texas?
I have to go. I think it's going to be down to those two because the others that pitted earlier, they're going to have a little bit more worn-out tires. I just don't think they'll be able to run. Here we go, inside, Fitzwater.
Fitzwater is going to take it right away from the 99, the veteran. Taking Brad Stover to school here today at Texas. He's won here before. And he's looking to get another Texas win, looking to become an 8-time winner. Don't look now. Roger Ray, Cameron Garlington looking to close in. And they're closing in a little bit. They're going to need help from Richard Kinghart, though. We're just going to have to see. But right now, it's a battle between Stover and Fitzwater for the race win. Fitzwater trying to get the run on the outside lane, trying to hold off the rookie. And he's going to get off the corner and lead it with 3 laps to go here in the Interstate Batteries 500.
99's been the fastest all day, but can he get by Fitzwater, the veteran? It's going to be close.
It definitely will. Stover staying right behind him, but Fitzwater knows how to race this racetrack. But Stover, he's not taking any chances. There he goes to the inside. Fitzwater on the outside. Will he get the run up there? It looks like he will. Outside lane push for the veteran with 2 laps to go. And he holds on. Roger Ray, Cameron Garlington looking to close in. I don't think they're going to have enough time. It's 2 laps to go. Kinghart to the inside of Brad Stover. That is the exact picture that the number 9 wanted to see in his rear view mirror.
But they're going to have to slow traffic ahead.
I don't think these guys are too slow. That right there, that is the race-winning move for Zachary Fitzwater. It was Richard Kinghart getting to the inside of Brad Stover. White flag for the Aussie driver. Looking for win number 8 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
They're battling for second again. Stover trying to get back, but I think this is Fitzwater's day.
How about this for Zachary Fitzwater? It'll be his 2nd win of the season. It'll be his 8th of his career, his 2nd at Texas. No other name in NR 2003 has been as successful as this one, and his success will continue here today on this April Saturday morning. The Interstate Batteries 500 goes to Zachary Fitzwater at Texas in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
He slowly clawed his way up to the front, and the veteran pulls it out.
How about that for Beast Racing, their 2nd win of the season. Zachary Fitzwater's 2nd win of the season, the first driver to win 2 races this season here in the NRLOA Chick-fil-A Cup Series season number 7. And I gotta tell you, Zachary Fitzwater is a name that anybody who does NR 2003 offline leagues probably knows. He's been racing here since the beginning, and once again he's in victory lane. The 2nd time here at Texas, and another huge win for the Beast Racing team, and that might put him up to the top of the point standings in the Owners' Championship, but the team that they're battling with is Titan Fury, and they finished 2nd in this race, so how about that for Beast Racing and Titan Fury Motorsports? They both did a fantastic job today with their drivers. But in the end, it was Zachary Fitzwater, a guy who was kind of quiet throughout the whole race, getting the victory. And it's Fitzwater, Brad Stover, Cameron Garlington, Roger Ray, and finally Aaron Walpole. A fantastic finish for him. And that caution coming out there greatly benefited that team to get a top 5 finish. Justin Roberts also capitalized on a good starting position. John Art, Nicholas Samedeo, Garrett Sonor, how about those veterans up there? And Patrick Smith, rookie driver, rounds out the top 10 here today.
And here is a fact that might shock you. This is all-time win 275 for Zachary Fitzwater, I believe. If not, it's somewhere in the 270s.
Yes, and like I said, anybody who does NR 2003 offline leagues knows this guy, and I gotta tell you, he is something else in this series as well. He surpasses Caleb Hoffman as the all-time winningest driver in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, his 8th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win here today. And the veterans are back at it in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series with Zachary Fitzwater representing them here at Texas. NRLOA Motorsports did not have a good day. Let's just say that. Of course, that's the team I own. Daniel McMillan, their highest finisher, was involved in that crash at the beginning. You see Micah Knapp, 37th. Jesse Turner, Matt Dalio, 41st and 42nd. A camshaft issue on Matt Dalio earlier on in this race, knocking him out. Tough break for those guys. And Nathan Stapleton, their last winner, finished 30th. Not the way he wanted to back up this win that he got 2 weeks ago. Diego Yepes is going to fall in the points. That's his worst finish of the season, I do believe. And you take a look at the rest of the results there. Brad Stover should be the points leader once we're all said and done here today at Texas. Even though he did not get the win, he should retake the points lead with 41 points towards the championship for that 2nd place finish. But Zachary Fitzwater will remain in the top 10 with his 2nd win of the season coming here today in the Interstate Batteries 500.
And Friesen Motorsports finishing 28th and 29th. Not the day I wanted for my team, but you know what? We'll move on to next week.
And of course, Joe, this is your first time co-commentating a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. How did you like this one? It was all over the place, but some good racing near the end.
Yeah, it was really fun. We saw some different strategy there at the beginning. It was kind of the strategy for the 6-4 was kind of ruined there once he got involved in the crash, but that caution definitely flipped the race upside down, gave some people different chances, and ended up with Zachary Fitzwater in victory lane. He clawed his way to the front. He wasn't a factor pretty much all race, but there at the end, he found his way to the front.
This was definitely one of the better races I've seen this season, and it has to do with the fact that it's so long, 67 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway. It definitely felt like a long night because we tried to do this before, like I said, on the new version, and it just did not work. But I gotta tell you that this old version gave us a good race, and we're gonna continue coming here for seasons to come here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I can guarantee you that. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater, his 2nd win of the season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and here are the point standings after 7 races in the NRLOA Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Next weekend, it's the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Actually, right, just the Rockingham Speedway. Rockingham Motor Speedway is the one we go to at the end of the season over in the United Kingdom. This is the Rockingham Speedway, the one in North Carolina, the Rock. And that one will be an interesting one there. Matt Dalio, the defending winner of the Bargs 400. It's now the Bargs 500K. Be a 62-lap race, a little bit shorter than last season, but it'll be a good one next Saturday morning right here on NAPA Fan. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching once again. And congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater on his 8th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory. On behalf of Joe Rutkowski and Carter Friesen, thank you guys for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.